Good morning, Richard Eckley here today. We have a sunny day today. Sun's shining nice morning this morning. Today we are on what day are we today? We are Wednesday today. So we're on Wednesday, so it's a relationship Wednesday on your 4 keys to a healthier and happier you. I've got my coffee this morning, so I'm all ready to go. The last week I said mainly from the ladies' point of view, how men and women think differently. And it was how the lady was thinking certain things were going on, and the bloke was just thinking about his football. I said about last week's in the relationship when we had last week. Well, this week I'd like to read a little bit. It's from the men's perspective of how ladies think and how men think and how just as things go. So I'll just read this one page from the book to see if you enjoy it as much as I do. It said it's a letter from a male reader who shows how it can make men feel. My wife has elevated indirect speech to an art form. Yesterday, for example, she was puttering around in the kitchen and said, "At the staff meeting today, my supervisor said, 'Don't eat the salami.'" "What?" I exclaimed. "What does she say about salami?" "Not her, you," she replied in an exasperated tone. "I don't want you to eat the salami, I'm saving it." I stood there with that dumb look on my face, trying to locate the transcripts of our conversation in that dusty filing cabinet in my head, while she casually picked up where she had left off, telling me what her supervisor had actually said. She does this constantly. I have to insert bookmarks into the stream of words so that I can identify which thread of conversation she's currently serving. She can keep 4 or 5 different lines of thought going simultaneously with casual ease, while I struggle to keep up. Her girlfriends all seem to follow it, but it gives my sons and me a brain damage. How can such an intelligent woman be so scatterbrained when she talks? "Would you like to see a movie tonight?" she asked. I was impressed she'd asked, but said no. I had things to do in the garage. It was almost an hour before I realised she wasn't talking to me. I asked if there was a problem. She said no, but still remained quiet. When I pressed her about it, she yelled, cheery-eyed, "You never take me to the movies." Hang on, I thought. It was me who was invited to go, not her. Today, as I carried a load of laundry into the garage, I said, "I need to go to Hardware House later." I buried myself in the garage for 30 minutes or so, during which time I started a load of laundry, moved some boxes and cleaned off a shelf. I made a mental checklist of things to do later in the day after I returned from Hardware House. When I re-entered the house, she looked up from her work and asked, "Why?" Why what?" I asked. "What do you need?" "I don't need anything. What are you talking about?" "If you don't need anything, why are you going to Hardware House?" she demanded, arms crossed in that unmistakable "what are you trying to pull" posture that most married men recognise. Hey, that conversation was a long time ago, and I've already loaded up my conversation buffer with half a dozen things to talk about. As far as I'm concerned, Hardware House is old news. But to my wife, it was never settled, so it stays on the top of the stack, where she assumes I am keeping it. By the time we get things straightened out, she's convinced I don't listen, and I'm half convinced she's right. I'll try to figure it out later after my salami sandwich. So that's brilliant. It shows how we think totally different, how sort of men and women do think and talk and act, and we are just totally different beings. We get on so well, but we have so many different ways of doing things, and it's quite amazing just how good relationships can work out. We've got to try and allow for the other perspective, other point of view sometimes, which we don't. We all think everyone thinks the same as us, and no one thinks the same as us. We all think differently and have different ways of doing things. Well, I hope you got value from this. If you got some value, always drop me some comments below. You can share it, and you can get in touch with me at rickeckley67@yahoo.co.uk. All the best.